Space is way scarier than you think by Joe Scott, and the amount of time I waste on thinking about the universe and how minuscule and unimportant I am in the grand scale of things, I need to go and touch some grass, I'm not gonna lie.
On February 7th, 1984, 317 miles above Earth, Bruce McCandless pushed away from the space shuttle and into the history books, taking the largest first step in human history.
Yep.
While Neil Armstrong's small step was a giant leap for mankind, Bruce McCandless's first test of the Manned Maneuvering Unit was a plunge into infinity. Space is big. In size, obviously, but also in the way that it stirs our imaginations.
Yep.
The very concept of nothing is hard to fully process. And if space is anything, it's a whole lot.
I always question. So the Big Bang Theory and everything, right? That's how the universe came to be. What existed before it?
Out of nothing.
If you believe in that
Infinite
theory.
nothingness. But at the same time, teeming with monstrous structures and energies beyond human comprehension.
Yep.
Filaments made up of thousands of clusters of galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. Areas of space so dense and massive that the rules of physics entirely break down. And yet, when we look outside, we only see the very closest stars. All the rest of it is just out there, hidden in the endless darkness, like an eldritch horror. And despite that, or maybe because of it, we feel inexplicably drawn to it. From our earliest days, we explored the infinite darkness, looking for meaning. We used the stars to navigate, to guide our planting of crops. We imprinted our gods and mythologies into the patterns we saw in them. We may not have known what was out there, but we knew it was important. We invented eye-enhancing telescopes that reached through the darkness and found monstrous worlds we didn't even know existed.
Yep. And you know, the further away we look, we're looking at it like millions of light years how it was before. So let's say a planet that's like a million light years away looking at us, and through some kind of a, super advanced telescope or whatever, when they look at, our planet, they are looking a million years before. So they're not looking at 2026, what's happening right now, at this moment. They're looking at the planet, how it looked a million years before, because of, how light travels and all of this. I think that was how it was. Somebody can correct me in the comments.
And now in the modern era, we've taken our first tentative steps into that void by packaging ourselves in suits and machines that simulate the conditions on Earth. And we can't survive in any of it. Our world, in this perspective, is a microscopic oasis in a never-ending inky void, as insignificant to the rest of the universe as a bacterium floating in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Astrophobia is the fear of space, or astronomical objects. Astro from the Greek astron, meaning star, and phobia from the Greek phobos, meaning fear. So technically, astrophobia is the fear of stars, but we include space and celestial objects as well. Objects like, say, the Mars moon Phobos. We literally have an object in the solar system named Fear. If someone from the city who rarely sees stars goes to the country or dark sky territory, they might find the immensity of a fully lit night sky to be overwhelming.
Yep.
Nerve-wracking.
That's how I am.
We might
Living
say
in a
that
city
person has a touch of astrophobia. A believer in astrology might become nervous in the days when Mercury goes into retrograde. This could be considered astrophobia.
If you're that much into like horoscopes, nah, man, stop wasting your time. Start digging into like actual astronomy, not astrology. Come on.
Or the old idea that people go mad under a full moon, turning them into lunatics. That's astrophobia. In the ancient times, comets were thought to be harbingers of disaster. In fact, that's where the word comes from. Disaster. Bad star.
Ooh.
But there's another type of astrophobia.
I didn't know about these
terms. One
terms.
that's not specific to an object or a superstition, but something much deeper. A kind of cosmic existentialism. Have you ever laid in the grass on a clear night and just took in the sky? Just let it wash over you.
Never. I for some reason, I feel disgusting laying on such tall grass.
Kind of become a part of it. A strange sensation.
I've had dogs my whole life. I've seen tons of shits.
Starts to come over you. That you're not actually looking up. You're looking down. Below you is a drop into an infinite void, and the only thing keeping you from falling is the fact that you're stuck to the ground by gravity.
Yep.
This shift in perspective is a bit of a transformative experience, and I recommend everybody to have it at some point in their lives.
I've thought of this
Certain
many times.
chemicals can help that along. Just saying. But that perspective is a bit more accurate. In space, there really is no up. There is no
Yeah.
down. It's just out in all directions forever. And the only thing keeping you from falling into it is this invisible force called gravity, which we still don't really understand. And it's a good thing, because if you were to ever go out in any of those forever directions, you'd be dead after 5 miles. That's it. That is as far as a human can go in that direction before we can't breathe anymore. 5 miles. 8
I
kilometers.
feel so isolated and stuck watching this, man. I fucking hate it. I hate it. Like, do you know when you think of something so deeply, so intricately? That's probably not the right term, but you know when you fall in some kind of a mental trance just because you think of something so deeply and you get so overwhelmed and you're like, I'm questioning my whole fucking existence now. Holy shit, I just see life as what it is in front of my face. Meanwhile, this planet is basically nothing compared to all of existence. You know what I mean? I'm so obsessed with the universe and aliens, man.
You can
With
walk that distance in a
everything.
little over an hour. That's nothing. And everything beyond that will kill you. Fear of space,
Yeah.
indeed. We exist on a tiny sliver of space, on the surface of a tiny planet.
And we can barely travel our own planet because of visas, because of countries, because of borders. I fucking hate it. But it would be chaos without it.
Even in
I
that
mean, it's
sliver,
chaos
we can
now.
only survive on land, which is only 29% of the total surface.
Yeah.
And even on that land, only 43% of it is habitable. The rest will kill you with oppressive heat, extreme cold, and choking forests.
This is making
Earth
me
can
depressed.
kill you in a million different ways. You can dehydrate, drown, fall off a cliff, get hit by lightning, consumed by fire, consumed by a lion, or a tiger, or a bear.
Yeah.
You could eat the wrong berry, or pet the wrong snake, or get bitten by the wrong bug, or go to Australia. You could get blown up by a volcano.
I can't wait. I'm going to fucking Australia. If I'm gonna die in Australia, I'll be happy. I'd much rather die traveling to Australia than wherever I am right now. The Balkans.
Breathe a toxic gas, catch a disease from a rat,
Yeah,
or have a small
hantavirus.
number of blood cells clot up and travel to your brain. Or just wait long enough. One way or the other, the Earth always wins.
Oh God.
Nobody has ever survived Earth, and yet it's the only place in our solar system we can survive. If you teleported
I
to the
feel
surface
so
of
trapped.
Mercury, you would lose consciousness within 20 seconds for lack of oxygen. And in the vacuum
Yep.
of space, your skin would boil as gases in your blood flash into bubbles, like a carbonated soda. If you were teleported to the sun side, your body would bake on the 800-degree surface. If you're on the shadow side, it's immediate frostbite at negative 290
Holy shit,
degrees.
that's such a
If you went to the
contrast
surface of
difference.
Venus, you wouldn't have time to suffocate from the lack of oxygen because you would immediately burst into flame from the 867-degree air temperature.
I wish I
while
lived in such a
simultaneously being
society.
crushed.
In such a society, and there's like a concept where there's a society in multiple levels. I wish I was in that level where we would have this technology to travel the fucking universe and like experiment and research everything. Or maybe eventually know everything. I don't know. Maybe it's not gonna be as fun then. I don't know. But this video is making me feel trapped.
By an atmospheric pressure
It's like I'm in jail on planet Earth.
92 times higher than here on Earth. It would basically be like the Titan submersible, but on fire. On Mars, you might have a relatively warm day, but you'd still suffocate. There's only 1% of our air pressure there, and almost none of it is oxygen. So you'd get the worst case of the bends imaginable, and then pass out. Teleporting to the surface of Jupiter would be difficult because there's no real surface on Jupiter. Just thick atmosphere that gets thicker as you go down until it turns into liquids and solids.
Yeah, and if the human species even fucking survives long enough to see our planet get destroyed by natural causes before we destroy it as humans, we need to find some other fucking planet, okay, that's habitable, and for us to be able to move there. I mean, that's not for us to care in our lifetime, but it's just a concept that I think about. I like to think of stuff very deeply that's gonna be basically of no use in my lifetime.
in
But
states
I
of
just
matter we
find
don't
it
even
fun.
understand. You would basically just fall until you were crushed into a diamond. Somewhat the same thing on Saturn, but breathing the ammonia clouds would scorch your lungs first. Neptune and Uranus are so far away from the sun that the hydrogen atmosphere freezes solid. That's why they're called ice giants, which is what you would be within seconds of going there. At negative 371 degrees, your body doesn't freeze, it vitrifies. Basically turns into glass. Our sense of scale about space is completely skewed because you can't really image it. To show it remotely at scale, you wouldn't really be able to see anything. It takes 8 minutes for light to travel from the sun to the Earth. It takes light about 8 hours to reach the outer edge of the Kuiper Belt and leave our solar system. So one light day is 3 times longer than the radius of our solar system. 1 light year is 365 times that long. Our closest star is 2.24 light years away. Polaris is around 450 light years away. The farthest star that you can see with the naked eye is V762 Cassiopeia, a supergiant star approximately 16,000 light years away. While we're looking at the Milky Way, we sit about halfway between the center and the edge. If we went to the edge, it would be 25 to 28,000 light years, making the radius of the Milky Way about 50,000 light years, roughly 100,000 all the way across.
I mean, I understand the numbers, the metrics, right? But goddamn, I just cannot comprehend it as a human, and it pains me so much. I wish I lived in like the Invincible or Ben 10 universe where I could travel and see and experience all of this somehow.
Distances are ridiculous.
Aliens, please show yourselves and please give us some of that technology, please.
But that's nothing compared to the distance between galaxies. The closest galaxy is Andromeda, which is 2.5 million light years away. 25 times the length of our galaxy.
I've read so much about Andromeda.
We're part of the local group of galaxies, roughly 10 million light years across.
Oh yeah, our local neighborhood, yeah.
That is inside the Virgo supercluster, which contains 100.
Have you ever open your window and wave to the Andromeda galaxy? Yeah, neighbors, what's up?
Galaxy clusters and made up of 10,000 galaxies, spanning 110 million light years.
Holy shit.
And that is part of the Laniakea supercluster, including
I'm
the Virgo
getting goosebumps.
supercluster and the Hydra Centaurus supercluster, that are all flowing toward a region known as the Great Attractor. It's 500 million light years across. Laniakea is one of the superclusters that makes up the Pisces-Cetus supercluster complex. It's a galaxy filament 1 billion light years long. At this scale, the cosmos breaks down into filaments and voids, including the Boötes void, which is 300 million light years across. Just pure emptiness.
So between
Beyond
the
this,
galaxies and these clusters of galaxies, there's just pure voids. How much is there that we don't fucking know? I'm getting so... my whole body is just filled with goosebumps.
Is the cosmic web, which is where our numbers break down. All told, the observable universe is agreed to be about 93 billion light years across. Given the absurd scale that we're dealing with, one can only assume that the universe is filled with billions, even trillions of different planets harboring life.
And this is why every day I say my life and basically this whole planet is freaking meaningless.
If there is even a millionth of a percentage chance that life could evolve in another star system, the number would still be, well, astronomical. Arthur C. Clarke once said, quote, "Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying." If the universe is teeming with life, that would mean that it's filled with potential hidden threats all around us. But it would also mean that we are not special.
I'm not terrified of it. Okay, he just said what 300 billion something light years is the observable universe. What we can you know what I mean. There's no way out of how many years has the planet Earth existed? For 4 billion years? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. There's no way other planets and other galaxies and solar systems haven't developed some kind of life. I'm sorry. There's no freaking way.
We do not have some privileged place in the universe. We are not
mathematically, it doesn't make sense. Even if I don't have the actual proof, I still want to see it to believe in it. But
It's experiencing itself. We're just a really weird fluke of organic chemistry that happens from time to time. Devoid of meaning and purpose. If there's no life outside of Earth, then we are truly alone, floating in an infinite void, which would be, in the words of Ellie Arroway, a huge waste of space. It's such
Yep.
a waste of space, it feels unreal. Perhaps a simulation? What if
Yep.
this really is just a massive game that creates itself as
wouldn't
we
be
explore the
surprised.
virtual universe? The further out we look, the more we see. When Hubble took its deep field photo pointing at a tiny dark patch of sky and finding thousands of galaxies, maybe those galaxies literally didn't exist until we looked there. Maybe the
Yeah.
structure of the universe didn't exist until we figured out how to map the cosmic microwave background radiation. Maybe you and I are just ones and zeros, and what we experience as consciousness is just a sim program, just existing
My
in
head
the-
is breaking right now. This is the type of shit I think about every single day. And I wouldn't be surprised. Like, just think about it. How, out of nowhere, out of nothing, the universe somehow exists. Like, no offense to religious people. I can talk with religious people. I just question them more and more. Eventually, they get stuck as well. They don't know how to answer me because I tell them, okay, how, why, and what. And I just keep repeating every single time after them giving me an answer because we can't know everything. And they use religion to, basically answer everything because as humans, we can't live without knowing everything. But we don't know everything. What existed before the universe? The universe always existed? What created the universe? The Big Bang Theory? Well, religious people, Christians specifically, tell me, well, what was the Big Bang Theory? How can you prove it? God created the universe. I'm like, but what created God? And then they'll give me an answer. Okay, but what created that? Look, you can't act like everything has your religion or concept or whatever you want to call it has the answer to everything. We can't. We don't have the answer to everything. The question of how the universe came to be and what was it beforehand, and was there anything even beforehand? How does this existence even? How did this whole existence came to be? This is very philosophical. I don't know. Maybe I'm boring you guys, but
This is a
yeah,
popular
my-
theory.
my
if
brain's breaking.
Maybe a little bananas. But belief in it is understandable, considering the equally
when I ask people stuff like this, they just make fun of me.
baffling
it's
absurdity
depressing.
of the physical universe. There is a more elegant solution, though. One that allows for a universe teeming with life, but simultaneously seemingly void of life. But it's no less existentially terrifying. The term Great Filter speaks to the idea that basic life like single-cell bacteria might be common, but intelligent life encounters barriers that prevent it from existing everywhere. Some think the Great Filter occurs before intelligent life. For example, the evolution from single-celled organisms to multicellular organisms, that might be a Great Filter. After all, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, and single-cell life began relatively early, some believe around 500 million years.
Really?
But it wasn't until 1.6 billion years ago that multicellular life arose on Earth, meaning it took 2.5 billion years for life to make that jump. Perhaps this is such a remarkably rare event that it could be considered a Great Filter. Others
Yeah.
suggest the Great Filter is something that still awaits us, that it occurs after intelligence evolves. Maybe because of a cataclysmic cosmic event, or the death of their star. Maybe it's a predatory alien civilization engaging in dark forest gamesmanship. Or maybe because intelligent civilizations inevitably drain their own resources and wipe themselves out.
Or we
Perhaps
create something more intelligent than us, and it wipes ourselves out, and which is AI. And I've even heard fucking billionaires that are so insane saying, you know what? How did it work? Us humans evolved, became the top of the food chain. We created factories, then we created this, then we created that. We automated so much stuff, and now the next level is AI that'll, surpass us, and we're gonna become, obsolete. And I'm like, God, why was I even born? I didn't ask for this fucking complicated and philosophical of a life. Maybe I care too much.
Intelligence isn't the ultimate goal of evolution, but a
I'm just
mutation of
interested.
it, a kind of cancer, a metastasis that requires an unsustainable consumption of resources that inevitably dies out. All of this is an overdramatic way of saying that maybe intelligent civilizations have a time limit. And if there's anything as absurd as the space in the universe, it's the time of the universe. The two are fundamentally linked after all. The average lifetime of a species here on Earth is between 5 and 10 million years. Intelligent life might fare better, or it might fare worse. But we
5
can
to
give
10?
ourselves
Humans have existed for like 2 million years. Homo sapiens have existed for like 200,000 years. So that's interesting.
the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say we last 10 million years.
Yeah.
In the 13.8 billion year history of the universe, that is a line so thin, you can barely see it on the screen. Even if life was common, even if intelligent life were common, even if every single star system in the universe were capable of creating...
Also, all these numbers, don't just trust them everything. Don't just trust everything blindly. Yeah, there's scientific ways to believe all of this, like the universe being 13 point something billion years old and the planet being... I mentioned them because, you know, that's what we know and what we think right now, but just be skeptical of everything. You can't just... Who knows how much shit there is about what existed and what exists that we don't know and we just can't measure. And we think this is the proper way to measure it right now, but in the future we might get it, you might get a better number and realize we were wrong.
Intelligent life at some point
As we
before that star
constantly
system
do.
dies out. It is entirely plausible that all of those civilizations rose, conquered, and ended at different windows in the universe.
Yeah.
And never knew that any of the others ever existed.
Yeah.
We, in our tiny, inconsequential oasis of the universe, are only here for a fleeting amount of time.
Yep.
And all we have is each other against the vast, consuming darkness.
And we're destroying each other. So beautiful. Oh, I love it. We're killing each other over resources, religion, and borders. Nice.
On
Nice.
Valentine's Day in 1990, the Voyager 1 spacecraft, well past the orbit of Neptune at this point, took one last look back toward the inner solar system and snapped a picture. This picture held no scientific value. In it, there was nothing we could learn that we didn't already know. But in this photo, Voyager captured Earth from over 6 billion kilometers away, making it look
Yeah.
like only a cluster of blue pixels.
I've seen this.
Carl Sagan championed this photo and called it the pale blue dot. It is, in a sense, the most accurate photo of our species ever taken. In Carl's words, "From this distant vantage point, the Earth might not seem of any particular interest. But for us, it's different. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and
Do you feel meaningless now? Just seeing that whole perspective right there, that, you know, that tiny dot being our planet, and all of our knowledge is just basically what we know from history, whether it's true or not. You know, I don't trust everything, and from science and all of this, and in the societies we've built for each other, and our existence, our daily life is what we see in front of us. We never really think of, you know, the 99.99% of existence outside of our, you know, tiny little dot, little planet. Not even little planet, little city or town you live in. It's insane. It really makes me feel like I'm on drugs. Yeah.
peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there.
Yep.
On a mote of
All
dust suspended in a
artificially
sunbeam.
fabricated.
The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel.
Imagine aliens visiting us and seeing these parts of our history.
Scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their
Now imagine very advanced civilizations, like the same way we have divided, the planet in countries and so on. Imagine the same concept, or maybe a little bit broader if you can, but in a solar system with multiple planets, or in a galaxy with multiple solar systems, when just, I don't know, creatures or aliens just dividing themselves between planets, not between little countries and cities and towns in their own planet, and traveling between each other and competing for resources and going to war planet to planet. That shit might exist somewhere out there. Meanwhile, we're crying because we can't buy groceries.
Understandings, how eager they are to kill one another,
I want to die.
how fervent their
I'm
hatreds.
joking.
Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are all challenged by this point of pale light. Our
We're
planet
nothing.
is a lonely speck in the enveloping cosmic dark.
Yep.
In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor.
Who fucking knows? I mean, yeah, the government, the US government is releasing UFO files and all of this. Okay, when nobody's really talking about it because it's something really new that, you know, a lot of already UFO and alien conspiracy theorists don't know. But yeah, there's interesting stuff coming out, but who knows how much stuff there is that we don't know? Who knows if there's such an advanced species looking over us, or who knows even if I'm a fucking alien or a human who was abducted by an alien and brainwashed and all of this. You know, I can get very deep in this and just, I don't know. I hope I'm not boring you guys out, but just think about shit like this. Think about, do you realize that 99.9% of shit that exists in our planet and the universe, whether it's artificially fabricated like history and religion and culture, or everything that's natural in the universe, 99.9% of stuff we don't fucking know and we'll never know, at least in our lifetime.
There is nowhere else.
We don't
at least
know
in the
how
near
much we
future,
don't know. We're
in
not
which our
aware
species
of
could
it.
migrate. Visit, yes. Settle, not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand.
Yeah.
It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.
Oh, this image, man. It gives me chills.
Space is scary, and yet we are drawn to it. It's the ultimate call of the void.
I love it.
And with a renewed interest in colonizing the moon and new telescopes like the Vera Rubin telescope, we seek to expand our reach into the abyss. And
Sadly, I'm a low intelligent ape from the Balkans. I wish I was that intelligent and was born in like a rich country with good universities, where I would be able to like become something and study this kind of stuff.
maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll wise up and outlive our species' life expectancy.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
we'll
not in
expand
my
through the cosmos
lifetime.
and find new homes on other worlds near other stars. Because in an infinite universe, anything is possible.
Yeah. It's like a game with infinite levels. It'll never get boring. You'll never know everything. It's gonna always be fun, you know?
Thanks for watching, everyone.
So,
Spooky-
yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Fucking love this video. Give it a like. Give Joe Scott a subscribe. Tell me what you guys think. I'm sleep deprived, by the way. I don't know if you can tell, but I went through a whole night of no sleep, and then I chose to watch this video, and now I'm... Yeah, my brain is not okay right now. Well, I'm in some kind of a state of... like, I feel like I'm on drugs right now. Tell me what you guys think, and have a nice day.